Welcome to the AccesLex presentation. My name is Keisha Connor, and I serve as your financial aid representative over the next 3 years. We partner with AccesLex on financial literacy to ensure that students can eat and thrive after law school. So it's not just enough that you come here and you do well in school, but we also want you to do well financially. Over the last 4 years, we have worked with Jackie Carroll, our direct representative for AccesLex, and she's going to share with you today more about the AccesLex program and your financial well-being. Jackie?
Awesome. Thank you, Keisha. All right, let me just tell you a little bit more about us. AccesLex is a nonprofit, and our primary mission is to help law school students. Everything we do is free. We don't charge the law school. We don't charge students. And I know people always say, wow, wait a minute, that can't be real. And it is. So part of our nonprofit mission is to give back to law schools because that's where we had kind of really where we found our inception. We're focused only on our nonprofit arm right now. We have 2 centers. One is a center that really works with the legislature up in Washington, trying to make sure that law students' rights are represented. Things like, public service loan forgiveness don't go away. We weigh in heavily on things like right now with the COVID-19, those type of things. And so that's our legislative access center, and that's really for social justice. And our goal universally is to make sure that individuals like yourself have access to higher education to become law students. We want it to be a diverse representation of what our nation really looks like, because we know people come from their communities and then they want to go back and make change. And so we need that to be representative of what our country looks like. And then we have the Center for Financial Education and Capability. And so that is where really I work, and that's where we created Max. So our goal there is twofold. One is, like Keisha said, it is to make sure that you learn how to manage your money so money doesn't control you. And that's really just moving towards financial wellness. But the other thing is we have a goal of trying to reduce overall educational loan debt. And as part of that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. We actually give away some scholarships, and they're pretty good. I know Keisha likes them. All right, so we created Max, which is a personal finance program. In a nutshell, we went around and talked to about 5,000 different students at 40 different schools and asked them, do you really need a personal finance program? Do you want it? How do you want to learn? What's important to you? What are the things that keep you up at night? What are the barriers? And guess what? Your peers were very forthcoming, and that is how we created Max by AccesLex. And so your peers said, you know what? We want to I learn in a bunch of different ways. I'm not sure that one way is the best way. And so we have actually created lessons that are specific to your experiences in each year. So for example, the Max lessons in Welcome to Law School, when you first sign on, it says Welcome to Law School. Those are all the things that your peers said, these are the things I wish I would have known about in year 1. I needed to really start thinking about that early on. And the idea behind this is that you will have information so that when you have questions about finances, whether it's financial aid and things like that, you have that just-in-time information because it's going to be what's in year 1. The other thing is students said, you know what? I really don't know what I don't know. And so I'd love to kind of attend some events, and just kind of learn things in general. And so what happens after maybe next year, I'll start coming to campus, and you might have seen me on campus already. Some of your peers or your 3Ls might have. And I'll come on campus and we'll do certain presentations. So we might be doing, financial education for law school students, or the importance of credit to law school students, or the road to zero, things as it relates. And so I'll come to campus and do those. The other thing is we have Max coaching, which are one-on-one coaching sessions with myself. They're 30 minutes. And let me just tell you, they are unlimited and they are free. And that, I think, is very important because oftentimes we get students asking, can I call again? Yeah, this is unlimited. And guess what? This is also for you available after you leave the law school. So that's very powerful. That's why we've partnered, because your wellness is important to your university even after you graduate. And that's really when it's most important. The other thing is we have like Max Monthly, which are things like, a monthly update. So for example, in this July, because they've extended the tax season, so you didn't have to file until July 15th. Earlier this month, we sent out some tips and tricks and things and reminders and things like that. And then we have podcasts and blogs, and those are all about the things that are just everyday life events that might happen that have maybe nothing to do with law school. Things like, how am I going to figure out a spending plan and those type of things. But I'll tell you, by far, the free coaching is the number one thing that students really said was most important. They said, you know what, I can look up a lot of stuff online myself, but what I don't know is if I'm missing something, because I really haven't been focusing on finances. I've been focusing on getting into law school. That's taken a lot of effort, and rightfully so. That's okay. And that's why we're here. And so I want to encourage you. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes students ask, how do I best use this program? It's a great program. I want to use it, but I'm not sure how to use it best. So I'll tell you, there's a difference. So some students actually like to create a coaching appointment and start with that, and they'll set up an appointment with me and they'll go, okay, Jackie, I'm not really sure what my educational goals are over the next 3 years, but I want to just talk about it through with you. And so we might do that. And others might go through the lessons and then say, let me set up an appointment. So you have that flexibility. It is really how you want to use it. Let me tell you a little bit about the scholarships. So it is an earn while you learn approach. So every time you do an activity within Max, so attending a workshop or a webinar, completing the lessons, completing the survey, if you complete everything in the 1L year, you'll get an additional 10 points for the scholarships. And the scholarships are pretty awesome. We give away $110,000 to each class. So that's $110,000 to the first 1Ls, $110,000 for 2Ls, and $110,000 for 3Ls. And the question that I get asked most often is, okay, so I'm going to binge it right now in summer while I have the time before I get to campus. But if I win the $5,000 scholarship in November, does that mean I'm not going to be in the drawing anymore for April 1st? And what it is you will be. So you'll be in the drawing even if you win the $5,000 one. If you completed everything, it's going to roll over. So you can potentially win that $25,000, and that's two. That can win up to $25,000 and one to $40,000. And what's really fun is this: I get to come to campus with like a giant check. So when Keisha calls you in or something like that, you're like, wait a minute, I don't know, maybe I won that scholarship. So, but once you, those are the things that you can use in there. And like I said, there's the events, which are both virtual right now, so that you can watch them on a webinar. We're going to add some recorded events, but those are not scholarship eligible. You have to watch the live webinar events to make them eligible. Your first event is going to be like the Planning for Law School. And then here is all your 1L law school scholarship activities. So when you log in, and I'll show you how to do that, you will see over here where it says all 1L scholarship entry activities. You'll have that in your view, so you can see these are all the activities that I need to do, and you'll see a little check mark when you've completed them, so that you know, all right, I've done this, I've done that. And look at how they're very short and sweet. The one thing that all your peers said is like, we don't have a lot of time, and so everything is about 15 minutes or so, making sure that just you know the basics. You have an opportunity to dig deeper if you want. It really depends on your own personal knowledge. If you get a moment, go to AccesLex.org, which is our nonprofit main website, and type in scholarship winners. And you're going to see the scholarship winners from the last 4 years. I've been around all 4 years because I was actually one of the original researchers and developers of this program. So it's been very fun for me. But you know what I love the most? I am also excited about reducing educational loan debt, because that is very, very important. And I love that. But what I really like a lot too is that look at some of these comments. When you hear the comments, is students have said, wow, I'm surprised. I learned so much, so many tips for financial success. And I've learned new habits. And I feel like I'm prepared now to deal with the future, because we all know financial stress is the very first thing that keeps you from being successful academically and then after. So that's why this is so important. So check them out. Why I think this is great this year is because we weren't able to come in person. So they're all videos. So you get to see the video recordings of them, and they're awesome. So take a moment, it's at accesslex.org. So now I'm going to walk you through how to register for AccesLex for Max Online. So very easy, you go to accesslex.org/Max Online, and you can do that on an iPad, a computer, a phone, doesn't really make any difference. The registration process is very easy. 5 easy, short steps. You're going to hit start. You're going to provide your name. You will go and use your school email address, because that's the email address I'm going to check with Keisha to make sure when you win the scholarship, that's how I'm going to verify that you are actually in attendance proper and things like that. Then you pick a password, and it has to be at least 8 characters, a lowercase and uppercase and number, a special character, all that stuff that drives me nuts. But easy enough. And then you select your law school, and there's a drop-down menu, and it depends on if it has the letter "the" in front of it or not. So you'll find it eventually. And then you pick the year you first attended law school. And again, what that does is that ties you to the eligible scholarship. So all of you will put in this as your first year, and that means you're going to be eligible for those 1L scholarships. And so once you've done that, you're going to be in. And you can see right up here, welcome to law school. That's where you're going to start. So that is really, like I said, right now you have a great time before you get into class. These are all the things that your peers said, wow, I really wish I would have understood that I can plan for money even during law school. I always thought I didn't have any, but even spending and Keisha will tell you, spending your money wisely, your loan money or your scholarship wisely is really very important. And so part of that means getting to know your personality. Sometimes I think we know that, but setting financial goals and making sure that they're smart and achievable, that's where you can reach out to me, right? So we can check that out. You can say, you know what, I want to start saving for when I have to pass the bar. Because that's only 3 years away. Let's come up with a plan. Check out the module on the power of interest. When I asked the 3 Ls, when I did the original research, what was the most important thing or what they wish they would have known when they were a 1L, they said, I really didn't understand how fast interest really accumulates. We'll sleep, we'll eat, we do all these things, we go out and celebrate. Interest really doesn't do anything except for accumulate interest. And so just having a good concept of that is important. And then if you complete the survey, that's going to make you eligible for those 1L scholarship lessons. And the app is coming soon. So then you can be anywhere and just do something within 15 minutes using the app. I'll be sending out an announcement to Keisha when it is ready, and then she'll tell you. But in the meantime, you'll just have to use your computer, iPad, and things like that. So I want to say thank you so much, Keisha. This was I hope this was a great overview for you. I hope that it was short and sweet. Please reach out to me. And like I said, you're going to be able to reach me at accesslex.org/Max Online. Once you create your account and you go into that 1L Welcome to Law School year, if you scroll over, you'll see it's a schedule a session with a coach. And so you can click on that and you can scroll through and you can even find myself, Jackie Carroll, or some of our others. We actually have students who went to law school. Some of us are doctors, some of us are MBAs, some of us were married to law students, So we have a wide variety. And again, those one-on-ones are free, they're unlimited, and they're just a great place to start. And it's part of the support that you have between Keisha and myself to make sure that you're financially successful, So thank you again for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Keisha?
Thank you, Jackie. We encourage you to sign up. We encourage you to explore the website. We encourage you to sign up for the one-on-one appointment so that you have a better working relationship with Jackie, figuring out what your long-term financial goals will be. We also encourage you to stay engaged, not only while you're in law school, but once you get out of law school, you'll also want to be engaged, but you'll also be working with Jackie. So we look forward to serving you during your time at Arizona Law and beyond. Don't forget to sign up at accesslex.org.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to meeting all of you.